What is up, Underdogs? DevDog here, and on today's episode, I had a Zoom call with a good friend of mine, Trent Coots. Trent is another artist of sorts, and some of his work is being sold in studios in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He drives a big semi-truck around Chattanooga delivering beer for a distributor and is recently engaged to his fiancé, Cara. I have known Trent for just under a decade, so it was really fun to chat where we dive into some of the things Trent's gone through, getting his work into studios and finding out what he really wants out of life, what some of his key beliefs are and why they are important to him, having imposter syndrome, and having a purpose in life. So please enjoy my talk with Trent Coots, but first, here's a word from our sponsors.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Music brush. We call it imagination. Understand? Understand? You understand? Imagine. Imaginate. You understand? Imagine.
Give us the tools and we will finish the job.
Welcome to the Academy of Underdawgs podcast, a place where a community is being built. A community of underdogs who are striving to do better and be better. Here's your host, DevDog.
What's up, Underdogs? DevDog here. Thanks for joining in with us. I'm here today with my very good friend, Trent Coots. What's up, Trent?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Just all right.
Just all right.
More than hard.
Well, all right. Today is Wednesday, August 16th. It is almost 6:30 p.m. at my time, but you're on the East Coast, right? Where are you at now?
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. And it's what, almost 8:30 there then?
Yeah. 2-hour time difference, man.
Yep, 2-hour time difference. All right. Well, today is brought to you by non-sponsored Storm Peak Brewery again. This is a Weir 9. It's a fluffy IPA. Very tasty. Trent, what are you drinking?
I got the Dogfish Head, slightly mighty IPA.
Hell yeah. 2 IPAs. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
That Anna just bursted in here a second ago. She likes to do that on most episodes. Burst in and make an appearance. She's on the floor right now. But
To be a guest.
yeah, she's the mascot of the podcast.
The underdog.
The underdog. Even though she's not an underdog, she's completely spoiled and doesn't have to struggle for anything.
Something nice.
It must be nice being a dog. So Trent's been my friend for about as long as Jackson. I met him about the same time. If you guys tuned into the last episode with my buddy Jackson Brown, I met Trent around the same time that I met Jackson. Let's reminisce for just a bit. Did we meet each other at 4 Points too? Or was it just through like the Bama boys?
Yeah, before that. Before Jackson, I think like I had moved there a little bit before him. And
Oh yeah.
I think I met you, which I don't know if you even remember this. Maybe you do. We had that Thanksgiving at Will Fisher's house. When he lived across, I don't even remember what the place was called, but across from where you guys all live, where Connor's place was.
Yeah.
I ended up living there
Oh, okay.
with Will.
Okay. Do you remember that
Yeah,
Thanksgiving? It was probably
I
like
think
2014 or something, right?
yeah,
13? I don't know. But that's
yeah.
when.
That was about whenever I met Will at working at 4 Points. So it was probably about then. I do remember that back in the day, man. It was so long ago. How long ago did you move away?
In 18, I think. Something like that.
2018. You were gonna go to college, right?
Oh, well, yeah, that never really worked out. I mean, I did a little bit of college in Steamboat, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you went to CMC.
yeah, for a couple of years. And then
Yeah,
yeah, just kind of escaped.
just escape from the boat.
Yeah.
It's needed for some people.
Yeah, the plan was to finish school, but it never happened. You know,
What are you doing now?
I am
What is your profession?
I'm a beer distributor
Okay,
for
sweet. That's one
um
of my favorite things. Beer.
yeah, yeah. I put it in the store so you can buy it. That's all I do.
My kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'd like it if you
Mostly.
just brought it to my house and then I wouldn't have to buy it.
Yeah, that'd be cool, huh? You can't even do that for me. It's the sad thing.
They
Uh,
look down on that.
yeah, a little bit. It's mostly Miller and Coors and Modelo and Corona. A couple other things. This fancy dogfish head, we deliver that too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a cool job. Pretty
You like it?
yeah, it's pretty physically demanding for a little guy like
Are
me.
you? Do you work for a distributor? So you
Yeah,
deliver it to all the stores and like to the bars and stuff like that.
yeah,
I did that for a little bit whenever I was younger. Just like carting
yeah,
kegs around, filling up a van with kegs and cases of
yeah,
beer, driving them around.
yeah. I'm in like a semi truck, driving a semi truck, which I don't have my full like CDL license, but that's what I'm working
Oh, so you're riding dirty right now?
on. Yeah. Well, I'm I have, I have my permit, so I can drive with people, but I can't
Oh,
like
okay.
fully drive it on my own until I get the license.
Oh, so you're a truck driver, like a big
Yeah,
tractor trailer semi truck.
yeah. It's wild.
Hell yeah, brother. That's cool.
Learning
You're
how
the
to
real
drive.
big rig.
Yeah, you thought you were, dude. What you mean?
I I thought I was, let alone it was Trent Coots the entire time. You knew me as Big Rig the entire all those years, and come to
I'm coming for the
find you're the real Big Rig.
I'm coming for the title.
You're gonna have to fight me for that.
But I might not be able to make that happen.
Well, you can at least fly back out, and we can act like we're going to, and then just not.
I'm down with that.
Weird. All right, man. Well, tell me about yourself nowadays. Like it's been years since I saw you. Last time I saw you was at Sean's bachelor party in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And but like tell me about who's Trent nowadays. I'm genuinely interested because I've missed out for so many years. What's your
Um,
personality like nowadays?
I think the same, you know.
Yeah.
Um, trying to mature as much as possible. Um,
Trying to what?
mature as much as possible, but I feel like I'm the same
Oh yeah.
person. Um, yeah,
Me too. I
uh,
feel like I'm still maturing
yeah,
every day.
yeah. It's like that battle between trying to stay fun but be an adult, you know.
Yeah.
Do you, do you struggle with that also? or am I the only one?
Absolutely. Like we've talked before about Steamboat being like Never Land,
Yeah.
and like you just kind of keep going with the flow, and the flow was always, going out and partying and stuff like that. And I'm 36 now, and I just now I feel like around the age of 31 I really started to dig my heels in and feel like I need to push my life into a little bit more of a direction rather than just spinning around and going whichever way I thought of next.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm 30 now. I feel like I have a pretty good direction I'm headed and a life plan for the first time probably than ever.
Yeah.
Working on the career, trying to get the CDL, figure that out. About to get married.
Yeah.
Hopefully have
Let's
some
talk about
kids.
that. You say
Yeah.
hopefully that's good.
Well, no, I said hopefully have some kids
Oh, hopefully have some kids.
at some point. Try and figure that out. Yeah.
How many kids do you want?
I thought for a while just one because it seems easier and like more manageable. But
I feel like
I
two, then
think
they can entertain each other at least.
yeah. I think we've we've done a lot of like talking about it, and I think two is the magic number for us.
Yeah.
I think we're both on board with two. Yeah.
Right on. Well, I mean, once two happens, then who knows? Maybe there's three.
No.
Yeah, right. You never know. Sometimes after unprotected sex goes away, whenever you're married and stuff like that, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, true.
Guess you could always get snipped or tied or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. A little vasectomy after number two.
Yeah.
Be done. What about you? You thought about having kids or what?
Yeah. I want kids.
Yeah.
I want some. I'm the last male Miller, so I need to have at least a boy to carry on the family name.
Yeah.
At least one boy, and then if I don't have a boy and only girls, then one of them will have to keep the name, get hyphenated or whatever.
Well, since you brought that up, when we do get married, which is in a couple of months, we're both changing our name. Cara and I.
What do you mean? How does that
We're
work?
like we're making a new name for the both of us.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
the
not
name
carrying
gonna be?
on anything. L'Amour.
Lamore.
Yeah.
How did you guys come up with that name?
It translates to love.
Oh, like me Amore, Lamore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Huh, that's cool. What made you come up with that idea? No, it's a really cool idea. I just never
Yeah.
really never heard of that. You don't hear about that too often. So that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's very cool. But
Well,
why did you decide to do that?
I think well for I guess for a couple of reasons, like one of them being I don't care about my last name, which is a whole nother thing. Because I'm not really in with my father's side of the family, which is where my name, comes from.
Right.
And then also just the whole history of, I don't know, taking the name thing. I don't know.
You don't. You guys don't like that tradition.
Yeah.
You just rather make it make
Yeah.
it your own.
Yeah. So we're just starting our own.
Fuck
line.
yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
that's punk rock as shit.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's super cool. We're just like starting our own thing.
Yeah,
With the two.
starting your own family. That's how that's initially how families were started, right? Dude, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Hell yeah. When is the wedding?
November the 5th.
November the 5th. I haven't got my wedding invitation in the mail yet. I'm gonna have to go check the P.O. box.
I'll send you one. Dude, we haven't sent them out to anybody yet, but I plan to send you
Oh,
for sure.
okay, cool.
Whether or not you come, that's up to you. I know it's
I'll make. I love weddings, so I'll be there.
It's gonna be pretty small, but yeah, I plan to send a couple of you guys out there.
Hell
We've
yeah.
just been kind of slacking a little bit on getting them out, but it'll happen.
I believe you. So tell me about it's Cara.
Yeah, Cara.
Tell me about Cara. I've never met her. What's she like?
She is
The love of your life, obviously.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna sound corny for a minute.
That's okay. Corn away.
But yeah,
corn.
she's like the kindest, most loving person I've ever met in my life. We worked together for a little bit of time and got to know each other just as friends. I was in another relationship at the time.
Yeah.
So there was like zero motivation to like date each other when we met. And she was just a really good friend. We didn't even really like hang out, but she like promoted my art and like got me into a place to sell my art, and like was just a really good person, really kind, open-minded, and smart. And then after the relationship I was in at the time ended, we kind of just started hanging out more often, like as friends, and then eventually got to where we are.
And how long have you guys been together?
Let's see. A little less than a year, and we're about to get married, which is wild to think about, but I've never considered marriage like really at all. So it's like, and I was like very dead set on the idea of that with her. So I think that means something.
Very set on the idea of what?
Of marriage with her. So even though it's been a short amount of time, I think it's like more real. Well, I don't even think, I know that it's more real than.
Yeah. Time holds no boundaries, dog. Like,
yeah.
You know, it doesn't always need to take time. Some people will be together for 9 years and not ever get married until, you know, year 10. And then you could meet somebody and you just feel something that feels right. And, you just do it. That's awesome. I'm happy for you, bro.
Thank you.
So, and you mentioned you're selling art too.
Yeah. A little less nowadays.
Struggling artist, another artist.
Yeah, of sorts.
Another artist of sorts. Hell yeah. Oh, I knew that you'd like to draw. I have one of your stickers on my laptop. That
The
Scumboat sticker.
The Scumbo one, you still have that?
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell, those are old.
Hmm.
I wish I still had.
Well, I just put it on my laptop, and I still have my laptop. My laptop's super old. That was from whenever I went to college at CMC.
Damn.
Or like my computer is. I need a new computer. So everybody that's listening, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and share with your friends and family. This conversation here with Trent. And yeah, so you're selling art. So tell me about a little bit more about that. Like, where are you selling it? Like, are you in studios, or have you sold anything yet?
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah, I've done.
A lot.
There's a place in downtown Chattanooga that I'll take my paintings to, and they allow me a lot of real estate in there, and I can just hang stuff up and list it for sale. But I've done um, two art shows now in town.
Yeah.
One of them was thanks to Cara. Shouts out to Cara.
Shout out to Cara.
Yeah, she got me into that art show. It was my first one ever. That was cool.
Where was that at
Yeah.
in Chattanooga? It was at just an art gallery in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
What was the name of the art gallery? Do you remember?
Well, it was in a like bar venue called Cherry Street Tavern, and it was just an art show. It wasn't like a
Okay.
gallery. Yeah. But yeah, so that place that I put them up in regularly, and then the two art shows as of now. But yeah, I like to paint. That's my,
How did you get into the gallery? Like, give me some details on like how that came about for anybody that's out there that's listening that is an artist and maybe wants to get into a gallery but really doesn't know how to, or feels like their stuff isn't good enough to be in a gallery. What do you have to say on that too?
Well, I will say that I never thought my stuff was good enough to be there. And again, she talked me into like putting it in there and like giving me the confidence to do it.
Uh-huh.
Are you showing me the sticker?
Yeah. Pull up the sticker. There it is. It's backwards, but it says Scumboat.
Hell yeah.
That's a kind
of. But where was I? Oh yeah. So I never thought I was good enough to hang my art somewhere to sell. She gave me the confidence to do it. I just went into a place that I knew, like a local place that I knew sold local art, and showed them my work and asked if they had a spot for me or if it was something they'd be interested in like putting on their walls, and they were like, yeah, of course, bring it in. I brought in, I think at the time, like 10 paintings. One of them sold as I was like hanging it on the wall, which felt really cool. And then I sold the other ones over, a couple months' time, brought in more. Yeah, I don't know. I would say for people who want to get into that kind of thing, just like be aware or ask other local artists like where they put their stuff, and like ask questions and be confident.
Be confident. Why didn't you think you had the confidence to, or like why didn't you think that your stuff was good enough? Because it's like different You like to paint different things, right?
Yeah.
A little more
I think
abstract.
I've always been like a little more critical on myself and like down on myself, and um, I have like a little bit of like imposter syndrome, I guess. Like I never really feel like anything I do is
I just heard that word today, imposter syndrome, on a podcast.
yeah. Do you feel
Think
like you
talk
have that ever?
think fast, talk smart was the name of the podcast that I heard it on. I never really heard that term before.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have that sometimes. So like,
Imposter syndrome. Yeah. So, so is that something that you're going to continue to do?
what, painting
Yeah, I mean,
or what?
obviously, paint. You're going to continue to paint because that's like
Yeah.
one of your loves. But like, is that like a kind of a profession or just kind of like a side gig that you're?
Um, I think that, well, like for a long time, and maybe this plays into like not putting it into or like up for sale for a while. Like, and like when I started doing it, well, I was very young, so like selling it wasn't even in the picture. Like I didn't give a fuck about that. But also, um, even now, I don't really like do it to sell it, so it's not like a side gig thing. It's just something I like to do. Yeah, I'll do it forever. I love it. Yeah.
Just
Even if
something
I
you like to
don't,
do. But you
even
do
if
you
I,
like? Go ahead.
even if I go back to doing what I was doing before, which was just painting a bunch and then hiding it away in a closet, just having it there, taking up space, like I'll still do that.
Yeah, that's cool. Jenny likes to paint. She does watercolor,
Nice.
and for like all of our friends' birthdays, she'll paint some picture and then give it to them for their birthday.
That's,
Or the postcard, the holiday postcard that we sent out this last year was one of her paintings.
I like that, and specifically because I'm bad at watercolor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like watercolor. I think it's really cool, but every time I try and like paint watercolor, it turns out very
So
so
what's your what would you call it? Your
medium, I guess.
medium. Yes. Yes. What
Um,
is your
I like I use a lot of stuff: pastels, crayons, colored pencils, oil paint, um, paint markers, alcohol markers, spray paint, everything.
oh yeah, everything but watercolor.
Everything. Literally everything but watercolor.
Right on,
The
dude.
one
That's cool. You don't happen to have one of your pieces nearby, do you? So that you can show everybody?
Yeah, do you want me to grab one? There's one hanging on the wall
Yeah, dude.
right.
Because yours is it's your art is just so Trent.
I don't even know if this will like come into the. Can you see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Absolutely.
only one I have close by.
That's sick.
But
So yeah, that is Trent art right there. You and Jackson kind of have like the same kind of style too,
yeah,
or
man, me
same
and
like
well,
imagination.
like he grew up like a block away from me, and we like when we were younger, I would walk over to his house, and we would like he would like draw on a piece of paper, hand it to me, and I would draw off of it. hand it back to him, and we just do that for hours.
I
Literally
can see
hours.
that.
And then, I mean, still to like this day, well, we haven't done it in a long time, but I just lied. Not till this day. But in the recent years, we would like draw stuff and send it to each other in the mail, kind of like play off of that. Yeah,
Oh, that's
me
cool.
and Jack,
Like
we did
an
a lot of
artist
like
pen pal.
collaboration. Yeah. Yeah, we're very similar in style. Personality too, I guess.
Yeah,
Love that.
definitely. I asked Jackson to do some art for me for a T-shirt for the pod. I wanted for the like the little my little icon for that's on Spotify.
Yeah,
Uh, uh, but now I want whatever he's drawn to be like a T-shirt
that's
because
cool.
like his style would look good on T-shirts.
I like
Um,
the intro, dude. It's cool. He did that, right?
yeah, I did like the video part if you've seen that, but he did or we both did sat down and did the recorded and edited the intro fully,
That's
and like he did like the background kind of beat, and then he had this little record that we pulled stuff off of and made clips. Yeah, it was
cool.
fun. Yeah, now I want to get like a whole studio, like I like for real, like a mix board. Like I want to get all the things and like have a legit ass recording studio, and where people can come and record if they want to, and I can make my own beats for the podcast and create a production studio almost.
That was
That's
cool.
that's kind of where my thoughts are going with this podcast and expanding. I wanted to touch on what you said about imposter syndrome really quick for those that don't know what it is, because like I said, I just heard that term today, and it is the condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally despite being high performing in external objective ways. So basically you feel like you don't have the potential or your stuff isn't good enough, but in actuality it's fucking bomb. And I what?
I don't know, just like yeah, I don't know, because I still don't think it is, but yeah.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people can relate to that though too. Like not thinking that they're good enough to put their art into a gallery or to even go and talk to a gallery. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be a gallery. It could be, just anything like a job promotion or something like that. And
Yeah.
so they just don't because they think that it's like out of their league or something like that. And you could be in that league. You could be way above that league for all anybody knows.
Yeah, I think it's like a
Shoot your shot.
blessing and a curse though. Huh?
What, having imposter syndrome?
Having Yeah. It's like it's
Explain.
not it's not really a good thing because like, confidence, obviously helps you out.
Right. It's like confidence is key, but everybody likes
But
a humble person.
yeah, but like also like if it keeps you like it makes you like try harder and like care about what you're doing. And I think if you're doing something you love and you have like a little bit of anxiety behind it, I think it just like proves that you like really care and love, like you care about it and love it to the point where you're like a little anxious about the outcome. I
Like
don't know
you
if that
like you
makes
feel
sense.
like you feel anxious about it, about whatever it is you're doing, but you continue to do it but like you have that anxiety about making it public.
Yeah, or just making it like good or right. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like,
So I think that I can make a example on my trading, I think. Imposter syndrome. So I don't know if you know, but I've been learning how to day trade in the foreign exchange markets.
yeah,
And
yeah, I've seen that.
it's a lot of technical analysis and learning how markets work and all that kind of stuff. But it's also even more so about the technical part. It's more of a mental thing. Like say you have a couple weeks, like I've kind of had this last couple weeks of losses. And so it kind of builds this fear in you and like kind of makes you think that you don't know what you're doing. And so sometimes I will like mark out a trade and then not hit that like trade button, and then it does exactly what I thought it was going to do. And then there's other times where like I mean with trading there's wins and losses. Wins come, losses come. You just try to keep the losses to a minimum and your wins to a a little bit higher. You want to protect your money. But like there's that fear behind me not hitting that trade button, that buy or sell button, right? Because of what has happened before. Like last time I did this, I don't want to lose money today, and then I just did it, or I didn't hit the button, and then trade goes in my way. Next time I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do it this time, and then I hit it and it goes the wrong way. But then the ones that I don't hit that button because I have this little thing in my head is just it's fear.
Yeah,
I don't hit the button and then I lose out on money. So that's my kind of example of imposter syndrome. Like you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. In a sense. I'm not
but
a
you got a
master
little bit of
trader by any means.
PTSD from losing
Yeah,
some.
exactly. PTSD.
I get that. I don't know anything about trading. I wish I did.
It's fascinating to me. I'm fascinated by finances and markets and how they move. It's crazy. Our financial system, debt, how we're supposedly like the money or like the world's currency, but yet the British pound is worth more than the dollar
Yeah, it has been
and
for
the
some time.
euro. Yeah. The dollar is failing. And I watch it every day on the chart. But that's the thing is it goes like this. It's not always just straight across. So on the whole all the hype and news that you hear about the dollar failing, if the dollar fails, the world is fucking over. Because the world is run off of, or not the entire world, but you I think that you can understand what I'm saying. Like the US dollar is the world's currency. And it is used for trade in every aspect. So if the dollar fails, we're all fucked and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Because it's going to be some apocalyptic shit.
Hell yeah.
Did I just
My
blow your
world.
mind?
This is my US dollar right here.
Yes, sir.
This
Me too.
IPA.
Another weird 9. Sometimes I drink on these things, and since we're talking, like we've been talking for half an hour since we actually started recording. And time flies by whenever you're just sitting here drinking beers, and even if it's just on the phone.
Yeah.
Talking about real life shit.
What have you been drinking any Mountain Tap stuff or what?
I mean, not that I don't like their beers. I just don't ever buy them.
Yeah.
I could go talk to Greg. Is his name Greg?
Did I don't know. Didn't Drew just move back? Is he brewing there? Or have you talked to him?
I have not. I saw that he was brewing at
Ska.
Ska, yeah.
Yeah,
Ska
pretty big.
Brewing. And he did move. I don't know if he's back here or not. I haven't talked to him in a while. I just follow him on Instagram and whatnot. Yeah. All right. Let me pull my stuff back up here. Well, that was good. I like that little bit about imposter syndrome because I mean I do think that that's a big thing with a lot of people,
For sure.
not thinking that you're good enough and then feeling like, oh, I don't want to sound conceited or something like that and push my work or my thoughts or my opinions or whatever like that, and
Yeah.
just kind of go with the flow and then hate it maybe, and then that just kind of builds up and turns you into a miserable person or something like that, on the extreme side. So Trent, what's your are you a lover? Are you a fighter? Are you chill? Are you angry? Is there anything that you like struggle with on a daily basis? Or I want to tell me about Trent Coots. I want to know. I want to know more. Tell me more, Trent Coots.
Before I answer that, how would you define me? A lover or a fighter?
Okay, I actually wrote that down. Believe it or not. So the Trent that I knew, you just want me to read what I knew?
Yeah,
Read
yeah.
what I wrote down. The Trent I knew was a bit reserved in the sense that you were never trying to be the center of attention, but you're not a wallflower because we used to party hard. You just kept a close knit group of friends who were your family, and I feel like I was lucky enough to meet you and be invited into that group and family. Even though you live over 1,000 miles away, I know that you and I are still brothers from other mothers.
Okay. That's poetic, dude. I
Thanks,
like
dog.
that.
But for you, like, yeah, like I said, you're not exactly like a go with the flow, but you weren't just a go with the flow. You would go with the flow, but if something like you didn't agree with, you weren't afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
You'd be like, fuck that. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think I definitely am more so a lover than a fighter. That's for sure.
Yeah. I knew that. I just wanted you to say it out loud.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to hear your definition or explanation. I spoke mine. But aside from lover and fighter, what was the other part?
Angry, chill, happy, sad, excited.
I would say more chill than angry, and I hope that other people agree with that.
I think that most people that I know would anyway.
Okay, that's good. And nowadays, definitely more happy. But I know, I don't know, maybe when I was living out in Colorado, I was pretty sad pretty often. I think I was probably more happy than sad, but towards the end of my time there, I got pretty sad. That place put me down for a little.
I can see that. I mean, Steamboat not this is just a statistic, or it's not even a statistic. It's that there's a high rate of suicide in Steamboat Springs, one of the highest
Yeah,
in the country. And so the sadness, it makes sense. I've definitely been sad in Steamboat.
yeah. I think towards the end of my time there, not to bring down the fucking mood, but I could have been one of those statistics. I feel like I
Yeah,
was in, I was in that kind of world.
damn
It was
son.
good. It was good for me to get out of it, which I don't think that's the case for everyone. And I do love the place, but for me at that time, it was not good for me. But prior to that, it was probably like, you know, aside from right now, the better part of my life. I think it was a really good
Better
until I
part of
got
your life was
until I got to that end part of being there.
oh,
The time that I spent there was some of the best years of my life. Yeah, it was cool. Just
absolutely.
got a little salty at the end.
Did any of that have to do with a certain lady?
No,
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 that's good.
yeah, it didn't have
Uh,
anything to do with that. Yeah, I don't know. Just
I
I don't
mean,
know what it
I
was.
can, I can, I can see 100% of how this place can get like that. Um, One about we'll call it Robin Hood, or not Robin Hood, Peter Pan syndrome, like Neverland, because
Yeah,
you can get into this kind of cycle living here. I've experienced it for sure, where it's just, the same thing over and over again. You're just partying and you never really seem like you're getting anywhere. Like it's just the same thing over and over again.
yeah,
Rent and just living here is like expensive. So that even makes you feel like you're not getting anywhere even more. Um, just like dealing. I mean, yeah, Steamboat's like a super small town. Everybody knows each other's business whenever you're in that crowd, especially. And yeah, it could get overwhelming and annoying and depressing.
yeah. And I think like weirdly enough, like when you're spending like I don't know what is it like. It feels like 8 months out of the year it's winter there, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I'd say
like
we get about May, June, July, August, and then if we're lucky, September.
yeah, so 7 or 8 months out of the year. So like
When
for that for that like timeline of the year, it's like everything's dead. All the trees are dead. There's no green. There's snow or mud everywhere. It's very like the scenery's depressing to me. Although I'm having fun, I'm around like all the best people I've ever met. Um, I'm getting to do my favorite hobby every day, snowboard and like just be with friends and have a good time. Everything else around me is like dead. And
well,
I
the
don't know
trees
why,
aren't
man.
dead. The trees aren't dead. They're just hibernating, Trent.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, dude, I
there's
know exactly
nothing.
what you mean. No, there's nothing green, and there's fucking 8 feet of snow in your yard,
Yeah,
like shovel every day and stuff like that.
or a lot of mud and just yeah,
It's
but
not everybody can live here.
yeah,
It definitely takes a certain type of person to live here and stick it out. And I mean, for me personally, I don't know where else the hell I would go if I
yeah,
were to leave. I have my nieces and stuff back in Pennsylvania, but I don't want to move back to Pennsylvania. So it's like I'm here for the long haul, man. Still trying to buy a house. Everything's just crazy, stupid, expensive.
Yeah. I mean, that's like here too. Everything's a lot. I mean, I guess everywhere really at the moment. Everything's.
And it's like I look at everywhere else other than Steamboat, and it's like, oh my god, that shit is so cheap.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't even know like the real estate there. Like what's I mean, you can't really buy a house there, right?
for $1
Like
million
what yeah, that's
for an actual house. You could buy a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo with a $700 a month HOA fee for $900,000.
yeah, no
Or
thanks.
probably more realistic is probably like 750. But that's still insane.
Yeah, not
And that gets depressing too. But we don't need to talk just about depressing shit.
that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for bringing it.
Here, Nana, do you want to? Oh, what's that? Oh, a cookie. She made cookies, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. What is that? A
No,
snickerdoodle?
yeah, it looks like a snickerdoodle. Is this a snickerdoodle?
Just sugar.
Sugar cookie.
Nice.
Thank you. Um, let me think. What does your perfect day look like?
My perfect day.
Yeah,
I think I would sleep in until about 9 or 10.
that's late.
Yeah. But I wake up at 4:30 every morning for work. So sleeping in until about 9, it's pretty cool for me. Um,
Yeah, that's a hard sleep in.
so that wake up, hang out with Cara, have some breakfast together, go walk around downtown or somewhere in the woods, go to a park, have a nap in the park, in the grass,
In the grass.
go to a creek, have a little swim, hang out with some friends, do a little bit more quality time hanging out, go to sleep. That's about it.
So just hanging out. Is
Yeah.
quality time one of your love languages?
Yeah, that and I don't know. I feel like they're all physical touch. I like physical touch and quality time. Yeah, those are probably the two, if I had to guess.
You like her to
What's
scratch your beard?
nah? I mean, I don't mind. I don't think she's ever done that. I'm
Maybe
gonna
you'll love
request
it.
that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna request it.
Like a dog or a cat just under the chin there.
What are
Oh,
your What's your love language? What do you like?
a love language, acts of service, quality
Yeah,
time, acts of service, quality time.
words of affirmation. I like that too.
Yeah,
I like them all.
words
I
words
mean,
of affirmation is words of affirmation is good for me, but it's it's definitely important. Jenny's really good at telling me that she's really proud of me and that she loves me and all that stuff. So like if I didn't ever hear it, then maybe I'm just like so used to it that it's like it does make me feel good and it does make me feel loved because I know that she is there. But I'm just so busy all the time, like with doing stuff. So like whenever she makes dinner or just does anything for me, that means a lot.
Brings you cookies.
Brings me cookies. Brings me a beer if I'm almost empty.
Is that a request?
No, I actually have a full beer right here. Well, my last of the two that I brought in though. But it's funny because the love languages are, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I read that book, The Five Love Languages, whenever I was in high school.
Dang.
Before
Yeah,
I had any right knowing about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I did not know about that.
That's what probably fucked me up, actually, knowing about that kind of stuff. You know, because I'm like, what's your love language? Like, hey girl, what's your love language? Mine's physical touch. Hold my hand, please.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, I had no clue. I mean, I'm sure I knew like what I liked, but yeah, I didn't know about it until
If
later.
y'all listening didn't know, there's a book out there called Five Love Languages, and there's also probably a lot of other books called it, but there are love languages. If you don't know what you are, at least Google it, and you'll be able to find out how you feel loved and how you show love. And if you have a struggling relationship, maybe that'll help you out a little bit, just to have some definition between or behind the things that are happening. If somebody's, they tell you that they love you all the time, or that they're proud of you all the time, or typically the way that they show love is how they accept
Right.
love or feel that they are loved by those same ways.
And if you're the author of that book and you're listening right now, give a sponsorship.
Sponsor me.
Click that subscribe button.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button. I think that's one of. Oh no, I did used to have that book. I gave it to my friend Jake, and he still has it. Give it back.
Maybe
Give it back.
Maybe he's still searching for his love language. Give him some time, man.
That's all right. Yeah, you can keep it.
Well,
you can just have it, dude. What?
It's been years, maybe you can get it back.
It's been a while. It's okay. Maybe he's still reading it. But there's also different personalities too, if you're ever struggling. And understanding personalities helps a ton too.
Yeah, I've never done the personality test. Well, I think maybe I've done it, but I can't remember what it was. But have you done that, the personality test thing?
I never did the personality. I mean, I did. So I have this book called Personality Plus.
Okay.
And there's a like a test in here with my weaknesses and strengths.
Okay.
Like if you're a sanguine, choleric, melancholy, or phlegmatic.
I know you and Jackson talked about that for a second, right?
Yeah. He did the I can't remember the name of it now. Should have wrote it down. But yes, it's like a personality test. He said it judges you.
I don't need that. I already judged
that stuff. You can just read about it. But yeah, it helps because like a sanguine, for instance. Let me. Strengths are animated, playful, sociable, convincing, refreshing, spirited, promoter, spontaneous, optimistic, funny, delightful, cheerful, inspiring, demonstrative, mixes easily, talker, lively, cute, popular, bouncy. powerful choleric strengths, adventurous, persuasive, strong-willed, competitive, resourceful, strong or self-reliant, positive, sure, outspoken, forceful, daring, confident, independent, decisive, mover, tenacious, leader, chief, productive, bold, perfect, melancholy, analytical, persistent, self-sacrificing, considerate, respectful, sensitive, a planner, scheduled, orderly, faithful, detailed, cultured, idealistic, deep, musical, thoughtful, loyal, chart maker, perfectionist, behaved, uh, a peaceful, phlegmatic, adaptable, peaceful, submissive, controlled, reserved, satisfied, patient, shy, obliging, friendly, diplomatic, consistent, inoffensive, dry humor, mediator, tolerant, listener, contendent, pleasant, and balanced. I know how to read.
Proud of you, bro. You read them words
Trent,
real good.
I know how to read words real good. I would say that you are a melancholy phlegmatic.
What is phlegmatic?
Phlegmatic. It's a gross word for somebody who is adaptable, peaceful, submissive, controlled. You're friendly. You have a little bit of dry humor. You're
Yeah,
a
I think so.
listener. You're pleasant. Do you feel like you're balanced?
Yeah,
Inoffensive,
I'd hope so.
unless you're drunk.
I don't. I like to let other people judge.
You like to let other people judge you?
Yeah, I don't like to describe stuff.
Oh no, I don't. I don't like to put out judgments either, because as soon as you judge, then you will be judged, and then somebody's
Well,
probably going to prove you wrong anyway.
I guess judge is the wrong word, but like describe. Like I'd rather like my close friends describe me than me describe myself. I feel like it'd be more accurate.
Yeah,
I don't
being
know.
aware of the things that you aren't proud of, though, I think is a pro. Like
Yeah, that's
I know that I can be passive aggressive. I know that I can sometimes say things like, especially at work with my friends who are on my crew, like I'm their boss. Sometimes I feel like I can be, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I can be, I don't know the word that I'm looking for. But like just a certain way that I don't really want to be. I don't know. Like I can tell whenever I'm being a certain way. And then I
yeah.
think
I mean,
about it. But
like in
then
a
sometimes
negative
that's
way.
also just coming with being a boss.
Yeah. Also, I guess if it's negative and you're aware of it and you can like correct it, then
Yeah.
you know.
I
That's
I feel like being self-aware has just always been a big component in who I am, and knowing if I'm being a certain way, or at least realizing it, even if you know it and you're like, I don't care. Yeah, this is the way that I am. Fucking deal with it. But then being able to correct it in a situation where it should be corrected. That makes sense. Yeah.
and I'm sure you're a lot of other things as well in a positive. So you can't
Yeah.
just
I
highlight
mean,
the negative.
yeah, no, I just always
I'm sure
like to point out,
all in all, you're a good boss.
oh, I am. Thanks, dog.
I wouldn't know, but
Who, me?
shouts out to all your employees.
just laughed as I took a sip of beer. Do you have a mantra that you try to live by?
I don't think so, man. I had at one point.
Uh-oh.
At one point, I like to use the grass ain't greener.
Grass ain't greener on the other side.
That's like
Or
a
grass
that's
is
like a
grass is always greener on the other side.
but that's like a situational thing, you know. But aside from that, I don't think I really have one, man. Stick to the golden rule, you know?
What?
You
Stay
treat others,
gold, pony boy.
you treat others the way you'd like to be treated.
Ah,
What's your mantra? Do you have
yeah.
what?
Worrying is like a rocking chair. Gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere.
I
So,
do I do like only worry about something once. I like that. Like don't freak out about something. That's kind of like the same thing you just said, I guess. But don't worry about something twice. Don't freak out about something that you don't know.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, totally. Like my philosophy behind that is that yeah, like things happen, and at some point there's nothing that you can do about it. And if there is something that you can do about it, then do it. But if there's nothing you can do about it and you're just worrying about it, like that's just putting more stress on yourself. And
Yeah.
I don't think that that's doing any good. And trying to live a stress-free life or a don't give a fuck life, or fuck it kind of life. I don't really live the fuck it kind of life anymore but
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
think
really
that's
worry about things because I feel
yeah.
like that just puts stress on me. If there's something that I can do about it, then okay, I'll do it. But if there's nothing that I can do about it, it is what it is, as they say.
Yeah. Or just like, when you have like an assumption or I don't even know how to explain it. Like anxiety about something that you don't know the truth of, and you just worry about something that you think is going to happen. That's kind of what I mean. Like, if it hasn't happened, don't worry about it yet, kind of thing. I don't know if that still makes any sense.
No, I know it. No, exactly. Like somebody that just worries about getting cancer all the time or something like that.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, that's a far out instance, but that's an example. And so they
yeah,
just,
for
I mean,
example, like you think you have cancer and you're worrying about it, but you don't. You probably don't, and you're just assuming it.
or if you're just like you're really worried about getting cancer, so you like are just incredibly healthy, like Rob Lowe in Parks and Recreation. He's just so worried about getting sick that he's just incredibly healthy, like sickeningly healthy. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, be healthy, but you don't have to worry about getting cancer. It's like
Yeah.
you're healthy. You're doing the things because of the worry of getting cancer. You are healthy. So you don't need to worry about getting cancer. That that
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. But yeah, no. I guess I don't really have. Sure. I should have one. I should work on.
Yeah, dude. Work on that. Do you have Trent, what are your key beliefs?
Um, I think just being a good person, be genuine, be
Treat
good.
others as you would like to be treated.
Yeah, the golden rule.
Oh, no.
And just love. I don't know.
Love each other.
Yeah.
How do since you talk about that or brought that up, or I guess I brought that up, but so speaking of people just loving each other in our country today, there has been a lot of hate lately, and I think that it has to do with like two political parties just like being complete separatists. Like it's either this or that, and if you don't believe in this or that, then I hate you. How do you feel about that?
I think that this is pretty big for me right now, I think, actually. Well, first off, I grew up in a place where I thought very differently from most people.
Do you feel like you thought differently than most of the people that like you grew up around?
Yeah, I don't feel that way. I know that. I know that. I was like more progressive. I guess back then I was more like anti-government, punk rock, skater, fucking anarchy.
Fuck yeah, anarchy.
Just fuck the government in general. Everything.
Yeah, me too.
That's how I lived back then. And just more progressive and open-minded and kind of like libertarian, like just freedom for everyone. Leave everyone alone. Let everyone be free. Be cool to everyone. And I guess I still am like kind of that way. But I work with a lot of guys because I still live in the South now. I work with a lot of guys that are pretty
Left,
close-minded.
left, right. You're just closed-minded to their way of thinking in general.
Yeah, yeah, and not
That's got to be
very.
tough. That would be tough on me.
Yeah, kind of sucks, man. It's like I like all those guys, and I guess what I was getting to was like the way I grew up. I saw a lot of people that were that way, that I still saw were good people. So I know how to like see the good in these people that I work with now, and I can be friends with them and get along with them, but I'll never be like close friends with them and hang out with them outside of work and stuff.
Yeah, because you just have different ideals.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
like yeah, you're cool to hang out with for like 6 to 8 hours a day, but
But I'm not gonna have you over for dinner.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I do not want to hear any of this bullshit that's spewing out of your mouth right now in my
Yeah.
ears any longer than I need to. I completely understand what that's like. And coming from central Pennsylvania, like it's not quite the South, but there's definitely I feel like the area that I grew up in, I wish that you could go see it because people like they fly Confederate flags around. And it's like, bro, you live in Pennsylvania.
That's
But
nice.
like you can being from Alabama, you can understand the kind of mindset that a lot of people have flying a Confederate flag around in that area. So, I mean, besides the Confederate flag part, very right sided conservative, very closed-minded as well. And even whenever I just converse with some of my friends from back home, it's like, man, it's just so different living in seeing other things and living in a different area. And then I don't know where I'm going with this, but I know what you mean. It's frustrating because my point of view is that the two-party system is dead, and why do we have to fight about every single little thing? It either has to be this way or that way. Why can't we meet in the middle? And that's what frustrates me so much about politics, just in general, is it's like either this way or that way. It's never just in the middle.
Doesn't have to be like black or white.
I know that's what it is. It's red or blue.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a battle.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
sure.
guess like even going back to like what you were saying before, like my core beliefs are be kind and love. It's like, that's what I want in that realm as well. When it comes to like politics and like social issues, just like be kind and love.
If only everybody thought like us. I bet that if people had some more level heads like you and I, Trent, then I feel like we might be in a better place.
I think so.
Do you vote?
I will when it comes up. I like to vote locally. I think I always do that. Always
Like for local positions and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you don't consider yourself a Republican or Democrat, do you just vote independent in the primary for a presidential election or any major election?
I think like, as a whole.
You also don't have to answer.
I mean, I don't mind.
I know.
Like
some people don't like putting their political
no one's coming after me.
views on.
Like I'll vote Democrat all the way. I don't, whatever.
No judgment, people. We're just all about progression.
I don't care who judges me about that.
That's fine good. Me either.
But I think we've talked about. I'm not gonna stay in Chattanooga for like the rest of my time. Like we've talked about moving to Virginia in the near future because it's more progressive, and that's like one of the bigger reasons why. Tennessee as a whole, it's like a pretty dark fucking red place,
Dark red.
It's like to some that's cool. To me, it's not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I feel that. Each their own, Yeah. And it's nothing against the people that think like that or that are a little bit more closed-minded or anything like that. We just think a little bit differently.
Yeah.
People are entitled to their way of thinking.
How do you vote? You don't have to answer that. But what do you
last election, I didn't vote in the last presidential election.
I didn't either.
And then the one before that with Clinton and Trump, I voted for Gary Johnson. I voted independent. Yeah. He was like the Green Party, I think. I'm not sure. I was just like anybody but a giant turd and a whatever South Park called her. Yeah. It frustrates me that the presidential electees are who they are because of the system that we have set up for ourselves, which is a complete fucking bullshit thing. The collegiate electors or whatever, like that's all bullshit. It's just like
It's
college
pretty wild.
football. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
If you know anything about college football.
I don't know anything about it. I'll agree with you. If you know about it, I agree.
No, like the people who I honestly don't know much about it. The people who like decide who goes to what bowls and stuff like that. It's like a committee of old dudes, apparently. More
Sounds
boomers.
right.
Yeah. More boomers making decisions for all of us.
It's all rooted out of the South too, you know. Just giving young men CTE for TV, you know,
Yeah.
just concussions and yeah, whatever.
All right. I got a couple more questions for you before we wrap things up. We've been
Okay.
going for a little over an hour now. Do you feel like you put too much pressure on yourself to like be successful, or do you feel like maybe you put too little pressure on yourself to be successful, or what do you feel like success is? And
Uh,
what do you feel like success is?
I think personally, success for me is just being happy, but there's also financial success, and I think that does play a little bit into it.
Yeah, a lot of people say that like you don't need money to be happy, but I don't know too many broke ass happy people.
I don't think
Can't pay my bills. I'm still happy.
I don't think like I need it to be happy, but I think that I need it to reduce stress, which therefore makes me happy.
Induces
So,
happiness.
but I guess when it comes to the financial part,
Like, do you think that you need? Is there a specific amount of money to make that would make you not worry about things, or do you just need to make enough money to be able to have like the bills paid and have enough left over to be able to make you and your future wife happy?
well, I think things have like changed recently. So like now it's like I, I would like to have more to plan for the future and have some children and buy a house. Uh, so yeah, that's like pretty important for me.
Do you have a plan put in place to make that happen?
Yeah, we just went and talked to some financial people and like made some budgets and like
Yeah, so you're planning for the future, budgeting. That's a good thing. I've always sucked at that, and it
which is like
shows.
it's kind of wild because that's like something that everyone should know about. I'm learning about it as I'm 30 years old. Just pretty sad.
Yeah, we should have been learning about that shit in like high school. Or
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where else you would learn about it other than high school, unless you picked up a book or went to college, I guess. I don't know. or took
Or
financial classes in college.
yeah,
That's what me and Jackson talked about too. Is like we never learned about credit. Nobody ever talked to us
yeah,
about credit cards
yeah. I
and
heard
like
you guys talk.
having credit.
Pretty important.
Yeah,
But no one teaches you about these things,
no,
Kind of like hope that your parents do, or just figure it out like later on.
yeah, it's kind of what I'm doing is figuring it out. But do you feel like you put enough or too much pressure on yourself to do that, or
Um,
not enough
yeah,
pressure?
that's where I was getting at. I think, yeah, as of like lately, yeah, I have been, but beforehand, no. But yeah, yeah, I think I'm putting some pressure on myself,
Yeah,
but not too much. Trying
I think that a little bit of pressure is good, keeps you motivated. But then putting too much pressure on yourself
to
can
get a
end
little
up,
over.
yeah, it just puts too much, like it makes you stressed out and makes you feel like you're not working hard enough, even though you are busting your ass. I do that a lot to myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself to get this thing going. Like I have a set future vision for myself and my future family. And if I'm not, if I have like any free time and I'm not either like playing volleyball or like out doing something and I'm just like at home and I'm not sitting on my computer typing or finding the next person to interview or looking at charts or just doing something, I feel like I'm wasting time. And I feel like sometimes I do put too much pressure on myself
Yeah,
and forget
that's
to enjoy the journey.
yeah, that's a good like way to live, but also you can't like punish yourself for taking a little break. You gotta take a break. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with like doing nothing every once in a
Yeah. It's just really hard for me.
while.
I, yeah, I have a hard time sitting down. Weekends are honestly sometimes my least favorite days because I put so much pressure on myself to like get
You
stuff
don't know what to
done.
do.
Yeah. And I need to be more focused. And that's my biggest thing is like time management and writing down what I need to do, what I want to get done, a set amount of time for each task, keeping to that set amount of time. And whenever I do that, I said do. Whenever I do that for myself, I feel a lot less stress and a lot happier. So
Do you give
yeah.
yourself like enough like is everything like manageable? Can you do everything that you like need to do? Or is your schedule just like overloaded?
I think that's where the time management things comes in because I plan out all this stuff or I have all this stuff that I want to do. And then I'm really easily distracted, especially working at home. And like I'll start doing something, but then just like the littlest thing will distract me. Like, oh, I forgot to I was gonna rotate my tires today. And then I'll go outside and like look at my car and then come back in and sit back down at the computer and then be like, no, I should go do that. And then I'll get back up and go back out there. It's it's annoying, but that's why I putting a little bit more pressure on myself just to come up with better systems. Because systems is what makes everything easier. Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna be right back. We're just gonna take a real quick break. All right, hang in with us. Be right back. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for hanging with us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button and share with your friends and family this chat with my good friend Trent Coots. All right, Trent, I just got a few more questions for you, dude, and then we'll let you get to sleep. I know you gotta get up early tomorrow. 4:30, you said you get up early, right? I get up at 5:30 every day. But I just come
You like
and
that?
yeah, I do actually like getting up early.
I don't. I hate it.
I got once I got used to it, then like I don't know, I just feel I can get more done whenever I get up early. All right. So you and Cara have been together for a bit and you're getting married. So this doesn't necessarily just have to do with her, but do you feel that you are loved? Like overall?
Yeah. Yeah, by the people who matter. Yeah. Her, my parents, and my friends. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Nice.
Just maybe not by myself. I should love myself.
Yeah, you should.
I do love
That,
myself. I'm being
I think that loving ourselves is definitely very key to, you know, this whole thing that we're doing in this game called life is loving ourselves. Because if we don't love ourselves, then it makes it hard for other people to love us. Because sometimes we can like put a little bit of a wall up.
true. But yeah, as a whole, yeah, I would say yes.
Good. Do you feel like you have a purpose in life?
Like I was put here to do one thing, or what do you
Maybe
mean?
not. So my purpose, I've always kind of felt like I had more of a purpose than just to be here and like live and go to work every day and like come home and the same daily grind. I always felt like I had something to say or that I had something to say that could help people. But then there was also the imposter syndrome where people didn't want to hear what I had to say. And like, they don't want this to sound conceited or anything, but I have been through a lot in my life. I've been to jail multiple times. Whenever I was younger, I was addicted to pills. I got myself off of addiction. I've been to juvenile boot camp whenever I was younger. I went to juvie jail whenever I was younger. I don't know. Besides all the legal stuff, I've gone through a lot of depression. I've just been through a lot of these things, and I always felt like I had something to say or something to give to people that they could like learn from. But at the same time, in my head, it's like nobody gives a shit. Like everybody's been through something, and they have. And so that's creating this podcast has been kind of what I feel like my purpose is to share and get other people to share, because I think that the more people know and the more people talk, then the better things can be. The more knowledge that is spread, the more powerful everybody can be, because knowledge is power.
Yeah. I like
Thank you.
that. I think my purpose is to
Spread love and joy through your beautiful beard.
spread the knowledge of and love of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't
No
know.
offense
I
to
don't think
anybody that is your thing.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, just be kind, I guess.
Just like spread love through being Trent Coots or
Yeah, whatever.
Trent Lamore.
Yeah, soon. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
weird.
dude. Trent Lamore. I'm gonna have to change. Actually, you're in my phone. You're just Trent. So
That's okay. You can keep it that way.
yeah,
I'll
I
still
probably
be
will.
that guy.
You can be that guy forever in my heart, buddy. Okay. Last question from the interview. Do you meditate or do you have anything that is like that you do that is meditative to you? Or could that be like painting?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Probably just art stuff, painting, drawing, um, cooking sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's relaxing. But I think and that goes, I guess, for the art stuff too. Sometimes it's stressful, but for the most part, it's pretty relaxing, calming.
Have you ever tried like actual meditation? Like, sitting
Yeah,
there like
like I was with Cara. I went to her to visit her family with her in Michigan maybe like a month or so ago. And I woke up pretty early and tried to meditate. And it put me to sleep. And then it gave me like sleep paralysis. That was weird. Yeah, I've never really like the breathing exercise thing and like actually meditating. No, I don't ever do that. I would if it would like do something for me, but I don't. I'm
Have
not
you ever
opposed.
tried?
Not really. Aside from that time, maybe a couple times before,
Yeah.
but I don't really know that I know what I'm
Well,
doing.
I mean, honestly, with the meditation thing, all you do is sit there and think about nothing,
Okay,
which is hard.
it's hard. Yeah, that's very hard.
Not, yeah. Like I try to concentrate on just your breathing,
Yeah,
just in and out through your nose. And then I also like to do breathing exercises too. Um, I used to be better at it. Whenever I
is
go to
this
the gym
something
and
that
go
you
to,
do like often or not?
yeah,
Like meditating? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, not like I used to do it like every day. Now I do it like maybe a couple times a week. I've broken out of my habits in the morning of my good habits of like doing a yoga flow and then meditating for like 7 minutes or so. Now I just come and I sit at my computer a lot of the time and trade, which is almost kind of like a meditation
Unless you stress out.
unless I stress out, which is also a meditation in itself by doing this and teaching myself to not stress out. I've been challenging my brain in a lot of different ways this last year, half a year. Well, yeah, year. I started studying trading last summer, and then thinking about the podcast and just completely redoing my brain. Been microdosing. You ever microdose?
No, but that's something I would do. For
It is
sure.
not like any. I don't even do enough to get like to feel the least little bit fucked up.
Yeah, just like the tiniest amount of
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, and I listened to this podcast about mushrooms the other day about how they work in the uh, psychological therapy that's behind it, because that's becoming more and more renowned and in uses. But the way that it works is it just recalculates your brain waves, and it actually changes them into a different way.
Yeah, it can like rebuild your.
Yeah, it rebuilds cells.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's extremely cool. What's crazy about that therapy is that whenever Nixon was president and started the war on drugs, that's what canceled out. There was studies into the psychological therapy through mushrooms before that and with acid. But then once the war on drugs came, whenever Nixon became president and scheduled it as or like classified it as a Schedule 1 or Schedule 3 drug.
I think 1, right? Is that the
Schedule 1, I think, is the worst.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
so.
3 is the worst. I don't know. Like it's up there with heroin and shit, which is fucking bullshit. Just, yeah, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I would like to do an episode on the war on drugs with somebody who actually knows what it's about or what actually happened. Because if you look into it, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's wild.
Politics, man. Well, brother, that's all the questions I got for you, dog. Did you have fun?
I did. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, bro. I really appreciate you supporting me and coming on and telling a little bit of your story and putting yourself out there. Because it's not easy, talking about yourself, putting yourself out there for all of my however many listeners I have. They keep growing every day. So again, everybody out there, like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of good snippets from today. It's at least what good beers to drink. We got a Weir 9 from Storm Peak Brewery, local, Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and a Dogfish Head, something mighty. Slightly mighty. And that is brewed in somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Available all over the East Coast, somewhere on the West Coast. All right, guys, let's thank Trent one more time. Thank you, Trent Coots.
Thank you.
Tell Cara we said hey.
Will do.
Welcome to the Underdogs. Welcome to the Underdogs community.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Okay. One more question that I am trying to ask everybody, or 2 more questions. Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Biggie?
1,000%.
1,000 times. All right. East Coast. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. And one thing that you want to do before you die?
Damn. Like one thing?
Yeah, one thing.
Um, as of now, be a not just a dad, but a good.
Hell yeah, dude. I love that. Fuck yeah. All right, underdogs. Thanks for tuning in for another episode at the Academy of Underdogs. Love you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. I'm sure that everybody has something that they can relate with Trent Coots, whether you're an artist or just someone that's in love, about to get married. All right, guys. Peace out. Tell someone you love them. Much love. Dev Dog out. Trent Dog out.
Well, guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really want everyone's story to be heard. I want to hear your story. It's important so that we can all come together as a community and serve a common purpose, and that is to live a happy and prosperous life, I think. So please join us next time, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on another episode, and like and share with all of your friends and family. If you or you know of anybody that has an awesome story that needs to be told, and you have the courage to come on and tell it to the public and all the other underdogs, then all of my contact information and socials are going to be listed in the show notes, so please don't hesitate to get at me. I want to hear from all of you. That's it. I'll catch y'all next time. Dev Dog out. Much love.